Setup. Place the 4 flower tiles and the 2 locations in the middle of the table within everyone's reach. Make sure the order is as shown in this video: yellow, orange, red, blue, Queen's Chambers, and wastebasket. Locate the 3 bags containing the letter tiles, 1 with yellow vowels, 1 with orange consonants, and 1 with red letters. Draw random letters from each bag to fill up the corresponding spaces on each flower. For the blue flower, you will need 3 yellow vowels and 3 orange consonants. Keep the bags nearby, as you will need them to refresh the flowers. Shuffle the deck marked Queen's Orders and place it face down in the middle of the table within everyone's reach.
Queen Orders are secret extra scoring conditions that you might or might not finish if you don't want to. But they will give you extra points at the end of the game, and you're allowed to have up to 2 per game.
Separate the deck marked Queen's Favors into 3 different face-up piles based on the card type, also within everyone's reach.
Queen's Favors are special cards that allow you to break some rules during the game, like bilingual. This card allows you to play the game in a different language.
Place 2 random yellow vowels and 2 random orange consonants into the wastebasket. Give each player a player board, 5 numbered bees matching the color of their board, 3 water drop tokens, 2 Queen's Orders from the deck, from which the player must keep one and return the other to the bottom of the deck, and a player aid with the phase order on one side and the scoring method on the other. Place bees number 1 and 2 into your hive, as these are your available bees. Then place the rest of the bees in their designated space on the grid. Choose a player to begin with the first player token, and you are ready to start.
Spelling Buzz is played in a series of rounds. Each round is divided in 3 phases: Scouting, Forging, and Production. Scouting and Forging are obligatory, but Production is optional. Let's see how this works.
In the scouting phase, starting with the first player and continuing clockwise, players will one at a time place their available bees on any flower or location tiles by entering the tile from the left and landing on the first space. If any bees are already on a flower, an incoming bee may push those bees into the next space to the right in order to enter the flower. No further bees may enter a flower that is full and no longer has available space. Note, when landing in the Queen's Chamber, the placement is different. In this case, bees are aligned in the order they have arrived in regardless of the number of the bee. The same is true for the wastebasket, only here, the number of the bee matters for the next phase. Remember that you can only place the bees you have available in your hive. The bees on the grid are not yet available, as they need to be unlocked by creating words. During the foraging phase, players will resolve each flower and location in order, starting with the yellow tile and going down the line. By revealing the number underneath each bee, determine which bee is bigger. A bigger number represents a bigger bee. The biggest bee has the advantage of choosing letters first, and it will take a number of letters equal to the number of its landing spot. Before the next bee's turn, all empty spaces must be filled with random letters from the corresponding bag, so the next player has a full flower to select from. All collected letters must be placed on the top bar of the player board, and the bee from that flower is moved back to the hive. To collect a red letter, players must first pay a drop of water. This is because red letters are much more powerful. When collecting letters from the blue flower, the letters you collect must be exchanged for letters already on your top bar, and depending on your landing spot, You can perform this exchange up to 3 times. When resolving the Queen's Chambers tile, in the order of landing, the player must pay 1 water drop to either take 2 new orders, choosing one and returning the second one to the bottom of the pile, or take one of the Queen favor cards. To resolve the wastebasket, each player reveals the number underneath their B, then takes a number of letters equal to the number of the B. Beware that it is possible to come out empty-handed from this tile.
At the beginning of your forging phase, and before you choose any letters, if you don't like anything in particular, you can always pay 1 water drop to clean all the letters from that flower, bringing new ones from the back. If you're cleaning the yellow or orange, all the old letters will go to the wastebasket. If you're cleaning the red or the blue, all the old letters will go back to the original bags.
The production phase is an optional phase. When you produce, players may bring any number of letters from their top bar to their grid. The top bar can hold up to 7 letters only. As no letter can be left over from round to round, players should try to use as many of their available letters as they can. Any remaining letters will be discarded in the wastebasket. The exception to this rule is if you have the right card to expand your storage, this will allow you to have more than 7 letters in your top bar. Take the letters from your top bar and place them anywhere you wish, horizontally or vertically. You do not have to complete a word to bring letters down, and you do not have to build 1 word at a time. Players should remember that once letters have been placed in the grid, they cannot be moved unless a B lands on a specific space that allows the rearranging of letters placed in a grid. When a player finishes a horizontal word, new, more powerful Bs can be unlocked, as well as new landing options. When a player finishes a vertical word, 7 extra points will be added to the final score. If a player does not wish to produce, no letters are sent to the wastebasket, and the player receives a drop of water instead. A player cannot have more than 5 water drops at any given time. When forging a red letter, players have the option of placing it on the top bar, like any other letter, or immediately replacing a letter already in the game to create a more valuable word by placing the replaced letter up on the top bar to be used during production. Keep in mind that it does not need to be the same letter in order to be replaced, as long as it creates a legal word.
And that was an example of a full round of Spelling Buzz. After that, the first player's token passes to the player on the left and a new round begins.
The end of the game is triggered when 1 or more players finish their 4th word, obtaining the first to finish token, worth 6 points. From that point, every other player will play 1 more full round with 1 final B. Following this, players will enter the scoring phase.
You can find a complete list of the 8 steps of scoring condition on the back of your player aid.
At this point, all players score their beehive by adding the value of their words, the combined strength of their available bees, points for remaining water drops, and any completed orders from the Queen.